Whoosh, and came with his Kevin Gates emoting Yuji in his chest and making his booty hole clench and making him cough like he's out of breath. Kicked him in his chest, making him sit down because he needs some rest, protecting himself so he don't get stretched. I would have thrown a whole truck on the back of his head. There has never been a happier day in Higuruma's life than when he finds out his clans committed worse crimes than Diddy. They would be on the verge of getting 1,000 years of slavery for crimes like these.
Hey man, I gotta confess. I did hang that baby on a ceiling fan by the back of the collar and let that thing spin at 1,000 miles per hour so that baby won't fly like a fastball.
Yeah, baby. Don't worry about it, man. We gonna get you good, man.
Let me get this off my chest. There was another time my baby mama asked me for some child support money, so I punched the weave off her head. And another time I got into a fight because this man slapped the enhancement off my forehead. I said it looks like the front profile of a blimp. So I put him in a 180p cartel video and shoved a grenade launcher down his throat.
After hearing everything you had to say, I fully understand that you are a victim. That man, he attacked you and embarrassed you first. Remember, you did not start it, you ended it. That baby mama, she was not gonna use that money on that baby. And that baby, bruh, I don't know, bruh. You're gonna have to sort that thing out yourself, bruh. But we are still good. This is how every single Hirguruma trial goes down. He is so good, I think he was Diddy's lawyer, cause Diddy got the lightest sentence he could get. He went to 4 dicks. That thing was not a punishment, that thing was an opportunity. Anyways, with all that out of the way, let's look in with what's new. The fight barely started, the Higuruma instantly popped a main expansion, bro. That means he's trying to get him gone so fast. Yuji should have just booked a flight to Barbados and never come back. But he did not listen to me. He went running straight to Higuruma. And I gotta say this, Yuji ain't ever scared about no threat. If you breathe air, you can get punched in the face. Once Higuruma's domain was fully formed, Yuji's fist was aimed right between both of Higuruma's eyebrows, but in this domain, every act of violence from both sides is prohibited, and Yuji do have some allegations on him that Higuruma's gonna press him about. One time Yuji ain't had no money, so maybe he could just go get a job. I'll do some surveys on Google and get scammed by Mumbai man, or maybe start a front yard lemonade business, but I guess that's the same as getting no money. But he did not do any of these things. He went straight to the casino and blown his whole bank out on the little money his granddaddy gave him when he went to sleep. But gambling was not the problem, it was the fact that he was gambling as a minor. Yuji tried to deny these claims, but Higuruma had security camera footage, so he was cooked. He was guilty. You know, when young people do something dumb, they might just get a microwave thrown on the back of their head, or maybe just give his parents a fine. But Higuruma was not gonna let any of that slide. He said death. He was gonna spank him on the back of his head till he got CTE. Higuruma deactivated his domain, and it seems like it had no effect on Yuji. Then Higuruma thrown his hammer at Yuji, simultaneously running at him. While he caught him off balance, he swung his 1,000-pound sledgehammer at Yuji's head, but Yuji blocked it. Then at that moment, he got up and noticed he ain't got no cursed energy. I ain't gonna lie, Higuruma's domain is too strong. He completely nullified Yuji's cursed energy. And if you thought that would get to Yuji, you must be mistaken. Yuji has always only ever been hands. And I'ma have to slow things down just so I can talk about it. Higuruma was swinging that hammer like he's trying to play whack-a-mole, but Yuji was straight parrying, dodging and countering his shots. Before we get any deeper, I feel like JJK at this point is going to be one of the best hand-to-hand combat animes. This is amazing and it's only going to get better from here. But we need to look in for this one. Let me break it down for you. Higuruma tried slashing Yuji. He came for a rebound. Yuji blocked it with the palm of his hand and swung a haymaker trying to make Yuji's head look like a ceiling fan. Higuruma tried slashing Yuji again. He blocked that thing with his palm. And Yuji threw the meanest counter, but Higuruma ducked. Then Higuruma swung and Yuji blocked. Wrist control, dragged his hand down and delivered the mean uppercut. But Higuruma did not let that get to him. At the last second, he actually blocked it. Higuruma tried backhammering Yuji, but Yuji slapped his wrist, disarming him. And watch how smooth Higuruma is. That thing went spinning and he caught it completely, rebounding his shot with another hand. Yuji parried and leaned out of the way, but Higuruma kept up the pressure. He got a hand for his hammer. He knocked some sense into Yuji. He got moving like he's busy. Higuruma did not waste no time. Once that distance was made, he threw his hammer at Yuji, but Yuji caught it and launched that thing right back at Higuruma like a boomerang. Now watch how swaggy my bro Higuruma is. He fixed his tire as if it was crooked. He spun that hammer and respawned that thing in his hand, bruh. Got Yuji fearing for his life as he throws haymakers, jumping back like he got the same shoes as Jordan. Higuruma launched his hammer at Yuji and used super expansion jutsu, dang near knocking him out. And here's when Higuruma really started moving like he's crazy. He did all sorts of somersaults, backflips and 360 GZs trying to knock Yuji out. He started slamming the floor like he's trying to kill a bug. Whoosh, and came with his Kevin Gates emoting Yuji in his chest and making his booty hole clench and making him cough like he's out of breath. Kicked him in his chest, making him sit down because he needs some rest, protecting himself so he don't get stretched. I would have thrown a whole truck on the back of his head. Higuruma swept the floor trying to raise Yuji, but Yuji slid out the way just in time. But Higuruma was not gonna let things be that easy. He extended his hammer, almost tapping Yuji in that place. My thing would have shapeshifted into the size of a naked Mora if a hammer ever came that close to it. That thing would have gave me a free Blackboy Max vasectomy. If anybody wants to get a vasectomy like Blackboy Max, go get a ball stomped by a 1,000-pound hammer. I've done it before, trust me, that thing is worth it. He started breakdancing like a homeless man outside a gas station for change, then jumped on the road trying to avoid Higuruma. He was moving like his hammers is an AK-47. He was throwing that thing at Yuji, and Yuji was doing everything he can just to get away. Yuji was sneaking on a platform when Higuruma spotted him and dragged the whole thing down. Yuji used the opportunity to land on the stage while Higuruma tried to speed blitz him. Yuji punched the bathtub at Higuruma trying to distort his vision of him. He was not gonna throw light shots at Yuji anymore. He was planning to destroy him. He spawned on a 1,000-pound hammer at Yuji, and honestly, Yuji was struggling. I genuinely did not know what Yuji could do to get the advantage of the situation. He could not slip away, he could not handle the weight of the hammer, and he got no cursed energy. Higuruma was doing everything within his might to crush Yuji. But one thing you should never do is give a shonen MC a second chance, because he demanded a retrial. His technique works just like a real life situation. It works even against his own will, so the trials will still proceed. But the accusation shifted this time. Did you commit mass murder in Shibuya? And my selfless MC said, yeah, I killed them, and he won't deny it. From the very start, Yuji chose to burden Sukuna inside of him, therefore his actions is an extension of himself. So he is gonna take all the blame for Sukuna's actions. And he got the maximum sentence, guilty, death penalty. Yuji received the heaviest sentence, death penalty. Therefore, anyone touched by the sword will instantly die. This is no game he can even call Sukuna on. There is no escaping this. Nobody is exempt from this sentence. Yuji jumped into a pile of seats and knocked them in Higuruma's way as he's chasing him. Yuji came behind Higuruma, charging up the meanest punch. This is the ultimate showdown, and potentially the death of Yuji. But there was something missing. Higuruma realized that Sukuna killed him, not Yuji. Yuji only bears the burden of Sukuna inside of him. So why did Yuji take the blame? Higuruma was about to kill Yuji, but he deactivated his technique just in time. And Yuji gave him a punch that's gonna make him act like he ate a Philly steak cheeseburger and African beans. Higuruma understood that Yuji was not the same. He took blame for something that was not his own choice. Then Higuruma explained that his body was controlled by Sukuna and he had no voluntary command. But Yuji, my selfless MC, took blame, saying that he was not strong enough to suppress Sukuna. All of this changed Higuruma's mindset. It returned him back to his roots. He understood that there's people out there that's weak and still takes full accountability for their own actions, even though they can't control it. Remembering that he needs to protect these individuals. Eventually, Higuruma and Yuji sat down and had a discussion, eventually offering his 100 points to Yuji.